Hey there everybody, in this video lesson we are going to be factoring quadratics. Quadratics meaning there's an x squared when our a value is either 1 or something greater than 1 that we can maybe take out with a greatest common factor. So when I say a equals 1, what I mean is we think of quadratics being written in the format of some a value, coefficient, times x squared plus a b value times a linear x term plus a constant c. So what we're focusing on today is when this value is just a 1, meaning we're probably not going to see the 1 written, so it's just going to start off with a plain old x squared. So let's get going. We've got 4 examples that we'll go through, meaning this probably won't take us very long. Cool. All right, so we've got x squared plus 14x plus 48. What I want to do is factor this out as the product of 2 linear binomials. Linear meaning it's a plain old x that shows up in each kind of starting position here. And binomial means there's 2 terms. So we need this to start off with an x squared, right? Because right here it starts off with an x squared. Well, I could break that apart as the product of 2 x's. X squared is really just the product of 2 x's. So the terms in the first spot have to be factors of your first term of the quadratic. Similarly speaking, the numbers that go in the second position for these linear binomials have to be factors of 48. Well, if I think of factors of 48, 48's got a whole bunch of factor pairs. It could be 1 and 48. It could be 2 and 24. It could be 3 and 16. It could be 4 and 12. 5 doesn't work. It could be 6 and 8. So any one of those pairs of numbers could work. But we have the kind of the check on this where we have to find the combination that would sum to be 14, which is our middle term. So when we're factoring these things out, we want to find numbers that would multiply to be our last term, but add up to be our middle term. So if I look through my different possible combinations, well, I'm noticing right here 6 and 8. Those are 2 numbers that both multiply to be 48. They also add up to 14. If they're both positive, I'd get a positive 48 and a positive 14 as the sum. So we're going to have x plus 6, x plus 8. And if we wrote those backwards, if we flip-flop those, we would still get the same result. Now we can double check this, right? If I were to FOIL this thing out, x times x, that's x squared. So we know that the starting value checks out. 6 times 8, that would be 48. So we know the last term works. The real kicker is making sure that that middle term sums up to 14. So we've got x times 8, that would be 8x, and 6 times x, which is 6x. 8 plus 6 gives us that 14. All right, onward we go. X squared minus 4x plus 3. All right. Again, there's no number right here, so if you want to think of it as a 1, go for it. Since it starts off with an x squared, each binomial will start off with a plain old x. And then my last term here is a 3, so I'm fortunate enough that 3 is prime. And the only way to get a 3 from factors is just 1 and 3, or 3 and 1. It doesn't matter how you write it. So now if I'm thinking of, okay, I've got a 3 and a 1, they need to be a positive 3 when multiplied. So the only way to do that is a positive 3 times a positive 1, or a negative 3 times a negative 1, because negative times negative makes positive. But when we add these values together, right, when I take my x times 1 and my x times 3, I need it to equal out to negative 4. Well, if I made these both negative values, that would work. Negative 1x, negative 3x, that sums up to be a negative 4. So x minus 3, x minus 1 is how that factors down. All right, next one's going to get slightly more in depth. And I just realized that this problem might not be factorable the way that we're trying to do it. So I'm going to table this one until we get to target 3. So we'll hold off on doing that, unless there's a typo on my part, which I'll go back and take a look at. All right. Here we go. 3x squared plus 6x minus 72. So 3x squared plus 6x minus 72. Well, I'm noticing this one's already different in the fact that there's a number attached to the x squared term, which is something that we haven't really seen yet with the previous problems. Fortunately, I can factor this out by taking the greatest common factor out of every single term. So if I look at my coefficients here of 3, 6, and 72, I could take out a GCF of 3 from everything. So if I divided a 3 away from everything, I would have x squared plus 2x minus, let's see, 72 divided by 3. I know 60 divided by 3 is 20, so it's got to be bigger than 20. That'd be 24. So minus 24. So now what we're going to do is factor out the stuff that we have here in black text. Well, I know that's going to start off with an x in each term. The 3 is just going to come along for the ride. And I need factors of 24 that would combine to be 2. Now, since it's a negative 24, one of my factors has to be positive, one has to be negative. The only way to get a negative product is a positive times a negative or negative times a positive. So let's see, we've got 1 and 24, that wouldn't work. 2 and 12, there's no way I could do 2 plus 12, 2 minus 12, 12 minus 2. None of those are going to get me a 2 in the middle, so that's not going to work. 3 and 8, 3 minus 8 or 8 minus 3, that's either going to give me 5 or negative 5. I need a 2, so that doesn't work. 4 and 6, let's see, 4 minus 6 is negative 2, but 6 minus 4, so if there's a positive 6 and a negative 4, that would give me 2. So x minus 4 and x plus 6 is going to be the winning combo. Negative 4 times positive 6 is still a negative 24, and negative 4 plus 6 gives us that positive 2. Big mistake on these problems is some people will forget to bring that 3 down, so please be careful with the GCFs. All right, that's it for this video. You know the drill. If you have any questions, please let me know. Good luck, have fun, be safe, roll tide.